Okay, I hope everyone can hear me and I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do some quick technical breakdown. This is 8 a.m., so this is already London open. So we're about to start to see probably some movements in the market, right? There's a lot of news coming out today, so you should bear in mind that New York session will be more volatile than London session probably. Because we're having a lot of news release in New York session. So that's going to bring a lot of volatility. We could see the market
How long does it last?
We could see market
This class, like, what's the duration of the
Okay,
for
this
New
one
York
is a
session.
big
Whose mic
class
is
for
on?
everybody. The link is on my status. So
if you now pay.
with private, have access to our private YouTube channels. Because we have a private YouTube channel too and a public one. So they have
So as I was saying, we could see market stall before New York session, right? So I'm expecting the volatility to really kick in New York session. So we want to look at first, okay, Kosi, so Chukwifai, I'll reply you after the session, okay? So first look at gold. First of all, look at gold. So on gold, if breaking down my charts, right? We have this level that price has run into here, 1760. And if we look back at previous price action, we could see where price picked up money here, right? You can see the momentum that we pushed with here. You can see where price pushed here again. And now we could see similar price action, hopefully. And if we look at this level, we are looking at how wicks are running into this level, right? That's something we like to see when wicks run into a level and reject off of that level. It gives us a good indication that there's money resting in this level and institutions are picking up orders from this level and flinging that in the opposite direction, right? So hopefully we could see, you can see the momentum price pushed into this level with, right? Very bearish momentum, very volatile. Yesterday we had a very volatile movement on gold, right? Pushed into this level. Now there's a lot of people wanting to sell this market. We have this level of previous support that was broken, right? Broke that level, retesting it, and people want to go short from here, right? People want to go short from here. We've picked up money here, and we're looking to see if price is going to push money in the opposite direction. Remember, we're always trying to trade against bulk of traders, right? We're always trying to trade against the bulk of traders. So that's the ideology here when I'm looking at gold. So with gold, if I break it down further, right? We have this level here. We have this level. Let me say this is where the first inducement was. The first inducement to the downside, this bearish candle on the higher time frame, break, retest, push down, and then we had a break above. So for me to confirm my long bias, I would want to see price fail to make new lows, right? If I start to see price moving in this kind of pattern, I would confirm my longs and I would scale in more to the upside. Now I'll be targeting 1800 as my first target. I'll be targeting 1800 as my first target. And the reason I'll be targeting 1800 is because of the liquidity that is resting above that level, right? So from the shorts that were initiated here, if we look back, we have a kind of double top at this level. First of all, we have this pullback to this level. If we take our Fibonacci and let's look at the trade that actually prompted that move into this downside, right? If we take the feeds, we have the 78.6, right? And then we have that push to the downside, meaning if you were to get in on this short trade from the 78.6 Fibonacci level, you would put your stops right above here, around that 1800 level, right? And then This would be the trade. So I know that there's going to be stops above here, first of all. Moving into this level, and seeing how I just want to break down how I'm confirming short positions, right? Let's look at this level again. This is how we spot liquidity easily. This is how to easily spot liquidity. If I was to take a short here, I'll probably put my stops above this high. If I take a short here, I'll probably put my stops above this high, right? So we can see where price could potentially run into, right? So if price was to run stop of retail traders, it would want to push above this high, okay? It would want to push above this high. So if we see price push above this high, take these stops, then that could be an indication that, okay, maybe price wants to come for 1800. So that's just what I'll be looking for from now into New York session. I want to see how far gold will move. You know, we could also roll over from here. We could also roll over from this level, right? If we start to make new lows, break these lows and start coming for this downside, then we can say, okay, then gold wants to roll over. But if we start to see price breaking these highs and stopping out sellers, then to confirm our buyouts into 1800. So that was on gold. Let's look at GBP-JPY real quick. Let's look at GBP-JPY. So for GBP-JPY, GBP-JPY is currently making lower highs and lower lows, right? It's making lower highs, lower lows, all of that. We have levels to this zone. Let me delete this. So we have levels which you could see GBP-JPY roll over into if it keeps falling at the moment, right? So let me just use a quick trend line to show you the lows and the highs, right? You can see it making series of lower highs and lower lows, right? So GBP-JPY could keep rolling over. We have this low, this liquidity, this weekly liquidity level, right? Which price could drop into if we see continuation to the downside. We could see a run of these highs. And then we could see price continue to the downside on GBP-JPY. So that's basically what I'm looking for. The pair I'll be trading mostly today, I'll have full attention on today will be gold. And we can just see different confluences. You can see I have this mapped out here. First touch into the 1760, second touch into 1760, the third touch into 1760. We have this descending trend line, the first touch into it, the second touch into it, the third touch into it, right? If this is the 4-hour time frame again, looking at candlestick patterns, we have these two bullish engulfing candlesticks, right? And we have this support, this resistance level now where people want to sell from. And this is kind of giving me an indication to want to go long, because I know many people want to step in on the short. If you look at this, this would be considered a break of structure. This would be considered a break of structure. So it is a lower high. People are looking for price to print a new lower high and print a new lower low, right? In order for me to confirm continued shorts on gold, to be honest, I would want to see price out of this level, below this level, right? To want to continue selling gold, I want to see price below this level. But let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens on gold. This is the pair I would be looking at. Remember how I said this This entry right here is a very risky entry. If we go to the 2-hour time frame, this entry right here is a riskier entry because we don't have a lot of confirmations, right? This is almost like the first test of that liquidity sweep on sellers, right? So when we would have further confirmations is when we have price running to the upside, especially when we have this level. Once we have this level broken, then I would confirm for that move to the upside, especially if that comes with New York session. If we have this set up in New York session, then it would be advisable to start scaling in, on gold buys. It would be more advisable to start scaling in on gold buys after we have a run of this level. But for now, this trade could go anywhere from here, right? So that was gold. That was gold in a nutshell. GBP USD. Let's take a look at GBP USD as well. If we look at GBP USD and what we've seen, let's go to the 4-hour time frame real quick. So GBP USD yesterday, we took buys on GBP USD, and well, initially from the higher time frames, right? I'm looking for price to return to 1.372, and this is because initially we have a break of a support level, and what retail traders want to see is for price to come back here, right? For price to return to that level, so you can have that break retest, and then they'll look for continuations, right? So I'm not saying price is going to reverse from 372, 1.372. But what I'm saying is a lot of people will be interested in trading this level, right? A lot of people will be interested in trading 1.372, okay? And that's how we can kind of have or set targets for trade, right? We know where people want to trade from, right? We are seeing the market setups. We know that it's more likely for people to trade shorts here than for people to trade shorts here. So this resistance at the moment, I'm looking for it to get broken. If I go to the 2-hour time frame real quick, and let's look at the kind of setups we have, right? We can see this level. This level is looking like it wants to hold. We have this candlestick pattern right here. We have this shooting star, and now we're seeing a bullish engulfing. If this candle closes bullish, then we would want to see a run to 1.372, right? Because this is where people will want to start trading from. This is where retail traders will want to start taking shots from. So this is a good target for buys. The buys we have entries on our buys around this level here. This is where I have my entries on buy. This is where I have my entries on my buys, and I'm holding to this level, right? Taking out my partials, and I'm holding. And again, if I do have this confirmation, if we get this confirmation of a bullish close on this candle on the 2-hour, then that could be a good re-entry, right? That could be a good re-entry to the upside. That could be a good re-entry to the upside and targeting this level. So that's GBP USD. So these are the 3 setups I'm looking for. The one I'm more interested in or more focused on is gold at the moment. Remember, gold is very volatile. So if you try to trade gold, you should be wary of your risk, right? You should be aware of how much you're risking. It's very easy to lose 100 pips on gold, especially when you're trading from the high time frames like I am. So if you're trying to trade gold, you should be careful. GBP USD, you could have lower time frame entries as well. You could have lower time frame entries such as this. Have something like this, right? Have your stops below here. 35 pips, have your target here, 50 pips, right? Straightforward trade, but you need further confirmations. You need to see that bullish momentum really, really kicking in. That's for GBP USD. Gold, like I said, gold. Gold is very volatile, so you should be careful if you're trying to trade gold, right? The stop loss I have on this first entry is about 90 pips, right? So if you cannot afford a 90 pip loss, you shouldn't try to trade gold, okay? If you can't afford a 90 pip loss, if your account is not huge enough for a 90 pip loss, you shouldn't trade gold. But that's basically what I'm looking for today. So today being Thursday, yesterday we saw this move to the downside. So today being Thursday, hopefully we're going to see that reversal and we could see the run of stops possibly. First targets should be this level, these highs. First targets should be these highs here. Second target will be 1800. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with gold. I have a few charts here. Let me see. Am I the only person that can't hear any sound? Just video. Are you serious? Can you guys hear me? Someone is complaining about the sound. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, the video is going to be is also recorded, so I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm going to put the video up on YouTube. So for the people who can't hear me, you can rewatch the video. Okay. If you can't hear me, I'm Kingsley. Kingsley, can you still hear me or you can't?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you now.
All right. The video is recorded, so I'll put it up on YouTube and I'll share the link so you can also go and rewatch. Okay.
Oh, okay.
For the parts you missed. So this gold, this currently 8 a.m. Okay. This is after 8. So we are in London session currently. We're already seeing maybe a sign of that bullish momentum to the upside. We wait for further confirmations. If we break these highs, here, if we close above these highs, it will be a good indication to want to hold my buys on gold. But if we don't get close above that level, man, then I'll be scaling out of my shorts because this is a riskier entry. I have little risk on this entry, very little risk on this entry. I'll look to scale in New York session, okay, if I see what I want to see. And I have a 250 pip target on this trade, so that's a lot of pips, right? Yesterday, I shared a setup with the community where we caught this. Some of them caught this short trade. I actually closed out my shorts, so I didn't get in on this short trade. But this was a 230 pip trade into 1760. Today, we're looking for maybe a 250 pip trade. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes on gold. I'll end this session here. For those who joined late, you can rewatch the video. You can rewatch this this technical analysis, my whole technical breakdown. I'll be uploading the video on YouTube any minute from now. So I'll also share the link. So if you joined late, or if you couldn't hear me properly, just rewatch the video, okay? Just rewatch the video and get the full picture of everything. All right, guys. I'll end it here. So you guys should have a nice day. Trade safely. There's a lot of news today and tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is NFP. So be careful how you're scaling in your positions. One thing I always say is that news creates volatility, but not the direction, right? News creates volatility, but not direction. So you should not be scared to use your stop loss where you see news events. If the trade hits your stop loss, you're probably on the wrong side of the market, because where the news is going to push, where that volatility is going to push price is the original direction that the market is supposed to run into. So don't trade without stop loss because it's news or whatever, right? You're just going to end up burning yourself, because if that volatility catches you on the opposite direction, you're going to be screwed. Okay, so always use your stop loss, despite news or not. All right, guys, so I'll end everything here, and I'll see you guys probably next week, Tuesday. Next week, Tuesday is the next technical Tuesday session that we'll be having. So keep an eye on gold. Keep an eye on gold. Gold is a pair I'm really, really interested in. So keep an eye on Go. Keep an eye on GG as well. Keep an eye on GG as well. And GU also. GU also. Kosi Sochiku, I'll reply you right now. So let me reply you. He said, all right, okay. Let me reply Kosi Sochiku. For any other person who needs my number, you can get my number from here. Okay. This is my WhatsApp, so hit me up on WhatsApp as well. Kosi Sochiku, can you see? Did you get the message?
Oh, network is bad. I can't see your screen.
Or did you get the message? Check the chat.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Thanks.
Okay, Ozigi, you said you have a question or you have something you want to say? Ozigi, you raise your hand.
No, I don't have. No. I wanted to see the message she sent in the chat. I don't have a question.
Okay, I just sent him my phone number though.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys next week, Tuesday.
And now have a nice week. Happy weekend.
Yeah, have a nice week, guys. Trade safely, okay? All right.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Adios.